Okay, let's see if this works. Testing one.
Oh man, you cracking up, man. You got me weak telling me that one, man, because that's Mingus. I know him, and I know the cat.
You guys like, you know, smile at Mingus and hey, stop blowing that thing.
Yeah, man, that's enough. Sure, I know, you know, I mean, here you're in his band, and he tells you, I mean, but that's the way Mingus, it didn't have to mean now he was, you know, he disliked the guy or drug with him, you know.
No.
Just like Bill Triglia when the piano player. You tell me that you knew him?
No. I thought that was a fake name at first. I thought that was Bill Evans played on that. In fact, I seem to remember somebody wrote that one time that they couldn't use Bill Evans' name or something because of contracts.
Well, yeah.
But he's a real guy, huh?
You know, that's happened. That's happened a lot of times. You know, cats. Like this Dizzy, Izzy Goldberg. He had to go on the Izzy Goldberg several times, you know. And Mingus, we did this thing, you know, that album we got the Tijuana Moods.
Yeah.
And we were rehearsing for that. Now, there's another, that cut that I was telling you about that, you know, this was the Fables, Manhattan Fables. Remember when I was telling you about the, you know, the guy talking about it? Now, that was the same time we did this album.
Right.
I did this. We not the same day, but it was in the same during that same time. Around. But Bill Triglia, the piano player from Westwood, was making the phone call from his house. Did I tell you?
No.
Did I tell you? No, we were rehearsing. Bill Triglia from Westwood played with Mingus too. I mean, he playing piano, and we're rehearsing up there. You know, so Bill Triglia after the we're rehearsing for this date, the same day, and. Mingus gets up and he goes back into the kitchen, and there's myself and there's Shafi, I think this alto player who died was there, Bill Nipper, all in the place. Bill Triglia just runs over, you know, at the thing, and so you know, Mingus had hollered in the kitchen. He says, "Well," he said, "Hey, fellas, tomorrow or the next day, we're gonna get together again. We gonna get it together. Yeah, it's just a few more things, you know, before the day." You know, Bill Triglia goes in, takes the phone, calls his old lady. Hey, hi, hon. Hi. How are you? Yeah. Oh no, we just got through with rehearsal. Yeah, and we just got through it. Just a few minutes. No, well, I know traffic is it's rush hour. Don't look for expecting me. Oh, you got dinner on? Oh, Mingus still got the kitchen. Hey, Bill. Yeah. Yeah, man. Did you ask me could you use the phone, man? What you say? Did you ask me if you can use the phone? Did you ask me? He's Mingus. I just go, man. I just said, did you ask me could you use the phone? Man, look, Mingus. It's what 10 cents. I don't know 10 cents, man. It's a principle. It's a principle of the thing, man. I don't give a dime, man. You know what I give a dime? Honey, look. I said, you don't still talking. Oh, you're ignoring me, huh? That's what you do, going people. Mingus, look, wait, honey, hold on. Mingus, look, if it's the man, look, I'll give you 2. Man, I want your money. It's a principle, man. You come to my house with your bill phone, man, and you don't even say nothing. You know what I mean? I want you to do that, you pad. Mingus. Man. Honey, look, I'll call you back later. Yeah. Did you ask me? And he got up, man, he walked around, he couldn't, so I'm sitting over there, I'm putting my drums away, he couldn't believe it. I don't know. And after a while, you know, it died down. After a while, he said, you know, man, then the sheet Mingus goes up and it goes down. Yeah. Like, he said, oh, man, don't do that, Bill. Man, I love you, baby. I love all you guys, man. This is it. He said, yeah, Mingus, but he said, 20 cents. No, it's the principle. Yeah. That's what it is, man. I thought this cat was about to get. Hey, now Bill Triglia came close. Look, they know.
Getting punched out.
He get punched because he hit Max. I think he hit Max Roach with that wham.
Did he really?
Knocked Max. I said something to him about a tempo. I was playing with him, and he looked at me. He said, "Hey, Frankie, go to man. Keep playing. I mean, I gotta go here, man, and talk to Joe." That was the fellow that owned the half note. One of the owners, the half note. Yeah, you know, was out there so long where Zoot Sims and Alcon played till them. temples. I'm up there, and I'm not that adjusted to playing that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got into New York. It wasn't when he's talking to Joe, because they serve spaghetti and stuff back in the kitchen. You know, the Italian cooks. It wasn't Bill Triglia at the piano then. It was this little. It was a Dave Frischberg. There was a guy called Dave Frischberg, I think, was on. No, Freeman. No, Freeman. Is that guy? Don Freeman. Yeah. I'm sorry, but there was a Frischberg that played too. Dave or Eddie Frischberg. Mm-hmm. Don Freeman, the little guy. He's playing. No bass. Now, it's bad enough for me with a bass, although Mingus, you know what I'm saying, his tempos is nothing. We playing soft peanuts or something, whatever. Now, he gets off the stand and leaves. Now, there's trombone player. Jimmy Nipper. There was the late, what was the cat that died, the tenor player that played with him?
Bobby Jones was it? No.
It was the other.
Dolphy?
Not Dolphy. Booker Ervin.
Booker Ervin.
On there. Mingus leaves. He says, "Go on, hey, Frank, go here, I'm gonna be back. Hey, cats, keep on playing. I'm gonna do what?" So I come back. No, I'm sorry. He came back on the stage. He left, and he's talking. I look over there, and he's talking. Come back up on the stand. And he picks his bass up, sits back. He says, "Hey man, hey Frankie, the temple's going down, man. The temple's he's been going. I'm scuffling like as it was. He picks it up. He said, "Man, I said, what you?" He said, "Man, the temple is gone down." I said, "Man, that's not the temple I started." And maybe he was right, probably. Yeah. But but I'm saying, well, man, the temples went down. So when he got off the stand, I'm not saying that he was wrong. Yeah. He was, but through a situation like that, tempo was so fast. And he leaves. That leaves nobody but me and little Don Freeman. Yeah. It's only natural. It was only.
Maybe if he was even there, it might have slipped.
It slipped, but he made. But you know what? I'm saying it to say that man was a perfectionist. Yeah. Of his. I mean, it wasn't. He didn't say it because he disliked me. Because if he disliked me and didn't think that I could make the gig he want to play, he wouldn't have hired me anyhow. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, he was such a perfectionist that every little thing that maybe the average band leader or the average cat musician would say, "Oh, well, the hell, we let." He didn't look at it. We'll let that slide because everything meant his music or what he's delivering. Yeah. And all of those cats are like that, even though they're wacky upstairs, a lot of them, and eccentric but down inside, they all are concerned about their music. That's the way Monk was. All of those geniuses, all of them. Monk, Rollins, Miles Davis. Yeah. See, I live next door to Sonny Rollins. Thelonious Monk, Mingus. They all had those little things that showed you that they was wrapped up in delivering the right. They didn't want any second hand, no substitute for what it's really supposed to be. And I'm glad that I came up under that. I really came up on those guiding lines of those cats.
That's something. Max isn't that out. Max doesn't have like.
No. He's a little more. So, he can get it, but only when I think when it's involved in alcohol, he can go.
When he was drinking,
would. But Max has always been very cool. He's the studious. He's get a little eccentric too, but he's the studious one. I mean, he's the. Of all those cats. He come up under that, too.
I remember when he had Julian Priester in the band in Philadelphia, this other drummer was telling me he went down to see the group, and Max was drinking, I guess, or something. Yeah. And he said, Julian, great story, Julian Priester, blowing a solo, and Max is like, pissed off at the drum. He finally gets up off the drums, and he walks up to Julian Priester's trombone. He bends the trombone. and they had like a week book, and the whole band quit. You know, Max had to do drum solos for the rest of the week. You know, and the same guy said he saw him another time when he was drinking. There was a flute player in the band, and they apparently had some kind of words back and forth. So flute solo, right? The guy's trying to blow Max's back. As loud as he can play, man. Finally, the flute player turns around. Throws his flute at Max. You know, like.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about. But all this guys that you know, it's geniuses, man.
Yeah.
All of the geniuses, man. Like Sonny Rollins over there in Chicago. We go to Chicago. We're playing behind the little bar up there at the Crown Propeller on 63rd and Drexel. And our first day, it's me and it's that. What's the guy? The third? Who's the trombone player? Is his last name the third? I guess his father played.
Oh, Grachan Moncur.
Grachan Moncur.
Yeah.
And I forget who the piano player is. I don't know, Al Daly. But we're playing the Sonny Rollins. He just got there, you know, and I hadn't even had a room. We hadn't gotten a room, but he had got there earlier. Yeah. And he had a room at the Persian, which was down the street. Maybe it had to be 4 blocks. You had to walk from the place. I had taken my baggage into the place because I had put it behind the stand. I was set
just
up.
Got there, yeah.
And so we started the place. Something about the place that didn't. I think for one thing, it was so cooped up because when Sonny had to come behind the bar, go behind the bar, it was a thing where the bartender would have to pull in. It was one of the things you have to go. Now I know that's one thing that got it. But he's still a gentleman. He'd come and he walked on the stand and he moved. The guy said, "Oh, you're coming through?" So the guys would pull him and he'd yell. You know, so he walks, yes, you know, yes. Okay, we get up there. The first number now, at 10 o'clock that we played, I forget who it was, 4 or 5 musicians. Sonny stood and he says, "Hey, fellas, Sonny, how you doing, fella?" He said, "Yes, I'm in the Windy City, Chicago. Yeah. Oh, it was to do a little sentimental. It died, you know, this Easter. Woo, woo, do do, woo, blue, woo, boo, 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 do, boo, boo, do, do, ooh, you, ooh, ba, ah, do, dee, da, be, do, do, boo, do, boo, do, do, and he plays it over again, do. Now, after the second chorus, he's still playing it. Do, you, boo, boo, do, boo, 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 do, boo, and he goes, he says, "Excuse me," he said, "about do, you, do, be, do, do, I beg my pardon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Do, you move to the waitress. Do, you, do, and I goes out from the bar, and goes around the bar, starts heading towards the door. Boo, you, boo, boo, do, loo, ba, boo, ba, boo, 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 ba, boo, you, do, ba, boo, 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 playing the hell out of it. Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna change. You know, we're the band. Me, Al Daly, we hit the boo, boo. Boo doo be boo be blue ba boo ba. Bo you woo boo doo boo woo wee. To do we oh boo boo doo. Oh you oh. And now at that time he's out the door. Opens the door. And so Al hit but shooting. So now when the door shuts, all you hear is rhythm, right? Yeah. And so I just figured, well, he's just going out. Maybe he's going to adjust something, or maybe his fly was open. You know, man, wasn't that many people in. But so we're going to Al Days playing the chords, playing. After a while, I said, "Damn, you know, he's playing and no Sonny."
He never came back?
No, never came back in the door. So after a while, after we played, kept playing for damn near about 5 or 6 more minutes, and even the bartenders looked up and said, "Hey, well, what gives?" And I said, I looked over Al Daly and I said, "Hey, man," it was a boom. So we stopped, not in the middle, where at the end of the chorus. Yeah. Do, 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 do. He said, "Do, do, 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 bam." And you go, "What the heck is that?" I go and I look out the door. The bartender comes out there. I look up the street on 63rd. There's nobody. Sonny. So I say, "Hey," I said, "What is that?" I said, "Grachan." Grachan says, "What's happening?" I said, "You tell me." He says he went out the doors. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well," So we went in the back where they have a little table there, and one guy said, I can get a sandwich. Like, Gretchen ate it. We ordered a sandwich. I ordered a tuna fish, you know what I mean, and toast. I said, man, it's half an hour now, man. I done ate my sandwich. I said, well, look, I was here before Jay McNeely. I said, I stayed around the corner. I said, where the heck they said? The guy said, I don't know what hotel. I said, I'm almost certain because he told me that he was going to try the Persian. I said, I'm going to try the Persian. Boom, boom. I walk all the way down 4 blocks. And I go, picked up the phone, and then it's reception. I says, the Sonny Rollins registered here. She says, Rollins? Well, what? I said, I don't know. I just want to know what he's here. I don't know the room number. I'm trying to. Rollins, yeah. Just a Rollins. I think that he might be. I said, well, he said, it's 1304. She rings it and picks up the phone. Yes, hello. I said, Sonny. Yes. Who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking with? I said, this is Frankie, Sonny. It's Frank, man, the drummer. I said, hey, man, you have to stand, what were you doing? I mean, tell me what's going on, man. I mean, we're still playing. I mean, what was... He says, what was I? What was I up to? What was I doing? Is that what you're asking me? I said, yeah, what is it? He says, well, couldn't you pick up on what I was playing? You couldn't register after what I was playing? I said, well, he says, well, it should be, self-explanatory for Frank. I was playing Sentimental Journey. I was going to take a sentimental journey home. Did you notice the lyrics of that? I said, what? It says, I'm going to take a sentimental journey. He says, and that's what I did, Frank. I'm saying, and hey, Scott, you can know what I look at that phone. Look, that phone is not that telephone isn't my property. But here I'm in Chicago, I don't have a room. Don't know whether I'm going to stay or I'm going to sleep in the damn station or we're going to sleep inside the Crown Propeller. I don't know whether. And here I'm looking at the telephone. I don't know whether I'm listening to Ace. Yes. Okay. Frank, it would be beautiful. Everything would be.
He never went back to the place?
Never went back. Now, never went back to the place. See, now that's something that had got him that he didn't want to make everything a scene about it. And it was drug him so. And I'm going to tell you, it didn't have to just be. I know one of the things is that this thing, because I know that guy.
He likes to walk around.
He likes to walk around. The stand is the bandstand. And when he's playing, it's one of them stands. Because my drum, I couldn't put my tom-tom on the TV.
Oh, really?
Drum. I had to disregard this forward and play on. And for him to stand, he can't. If he was to do this and go the whoop, like he'd be on top of the bartender.
Yeah.
The piano was pushed up in. So they booked him. So that was one of the things that got him. Yeah. And then the sound was the. But you see, later on, he told me, he told me later, a little later on, but some of the things that, and you know what? When he talks, he makes all these guys make sense. They'll pull these different things, and they'll make sense. Mm-hmm. See, the first time he let me go, it made a lot of sense, because he told me, he says, Frank, he says, I was trying other fellas, wasn't it? He says, because I knew the way that you were playing when I got ready to join Maynard Ferguson's band. He says, I knew the way that you were playing that you wouldn't be, with me very long, that some other musicians from Birdland or Maynard or whatever would grab you, because I heard who the band before, and I knew the rooms that they needed a drummer, and the way you were playing, this is what he told me for, letting me go when I thought that I was, just to walk into the house, and I stay right next door to him. As soon as I get in the door, he calls me like he's way over in Jamaica somewhere, in Great Neck, and says, hi, hey, Frank, how are you? Hey, Sonny, fine, I'm fine. Look, Frank,
I won't be needing your services, tonight. And I'm saying, what? I'm playing at Birdland. I'm not, because he hired somebody else. Larry Rich. No, he hired. There was a drummer from Brooklyn called Larry Richey. He's moved to France now. Yeah. And he hired Ike Isaacs, the bass player. He's a bass player.
Lambert Hendricks.
You're right. He sure did. It had the trio.
Right.
With the Ike Isaacs trio.
Right.
It had little Jimmy Wordsworth.
Right.
On drums.
Right.
And Gildo Mahonis.
Pony
Poindexter, right. But that's what he did. He hired them. He says, someone has some to replace you tonight at Birdland, Frank. So I won't have your services tonight, but we'll probably get together again in the future. I know, I'm pretty sure of that because, I said, oh my God.
Why, he didn't like the way you played, or he just thought you were going to split someday?
No, he told me later on, and told all this, he says, he told me, he says, "Hey Frank," he says, what I really had to do, is to find out what some of the other guys were saying. Who could get, to more or less, have a list of guys, because I knew that the way you were playing, the way you were cooking as well as you were playing, that you would get a better offer. Mm-hmm. Some cats like to see what happened. You went in Maynard, and I didn't just think it was Maynard, but I knew the way you were playing that you wouldn't be with me. I just had a trio with, so strolling without a piano, and it was just me and Henry Grimes.
I got a record with Sonny, Henry, and Roy Haynes.
Yeah, just the three of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's rare. You got to collect this item because
I'll show you. Because one side's a big band, and one side is.
Well, he also does a thing with Alvin Jones in the Vanguard.
Yeah.
With them, With,
yeah.
Something like that. Pete LaRocca is on.
Good player. I gotta hit the pattern room again.
One of my did was Alfie.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah. Roy Haynes seems to have followed a lot. He came in at.
He played
with Monk for a while too. Yeah.
He played there. Roy Haynes did.
Roy Haynes?
That's right. He played with Monk.
No, wait. Look at this, man. Mm-hmm. It's not Haynes. It's Specs Wright.
Specs Wright.
Specs Wright.
He's from Philly.
Here.
Oh, it's not. Oh, he's gone through.
Sonny, Specs Wright, and Henry Grimes. That was the trio. Roy played drums in the big band side of this.
On the big band side.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, so he did big band arrangements with Sarah Vaughan also. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. He was a good drummer. Specs Wright.
Specs Wright from Philly. Yeah. Did he pass? Did he die?
I think so. Is Ray Nance? Did he die?
Ray Nance. Yeah, I went to his funeral.
Yeah. Boy, he was a good player.
I went to Ray Nance's funeral. Yeah, because I just thought that for me not to go, well, I had the time to go. I mean, there's a lot of funerals I didn't go to, but.
Did you go to Monk's?
I went to Monk's. Yeah.
That was supposed to be a big turnout, huh?
It was a big turnout. Oh, a lot of people were at Monk. Yeah. He had, Barry Harris was the coordinator. What he did, he got all the musicians together and put them all in different groups.
Mm-hmm.
It was gangs of them, man. It had gang of Ben Riley and Randy Weston. Oh, you name it. Even people who never played with Monk, were there in the audience. But I mean, a lot of musicians got up to play, that never. But what Barry Harris was trying to do was to get the people who were closely associated with him musically, as many of them.
Yeah.
And he did very well. He got quite a few, individual groups.
Yeah.
And all of these people, everyone that they had, had been associated with them. They had gangs of cats there. It was Charlie Rouse. They had that Ray Copeland was there. Gerry Mulligan was there. I mean, these are guys that played. Now, Illinois Jaquette was sitting next to me before I was called up, but now he didn't play because he's never been. But evidently he knew Monk.
Yeah.
And
too bad Jimmy Lunsford couldn't.
Oh man, it's just like that funny that scene I told you about. Jimmy's like, hey,
Jimmy Lunsford's outside.
Jimmy Lunsford, hey Clark.
Yes, man.
Munchville and the Cats want to come in. Swing one.
Jimmy Lester, man. I just talked to Jimmy Lester. Hey, it's 5 below zero out there. He's out there with no coat on, but his hat, he still got his hat on. Hollering, hey, Clark, dude. Hey, man. Jimmy Lester, I was talking to Jimmy Lester in the band outside. The Cats want to come and sit in one. Is that cool with you?
Yeah. Of all the other drummers that played with Monk, was there anyone you liked best, or stuff that they did with Monk, or will that get you in trouble?
No, heck no, because I'm gonna tell you, I heard Roy. I like Royce and the things that Roy did, and Art. You know those. See, because Art Blakey was actually the first drummer or one of the first drummers to record with Monk on those first. Yeah, I'm not saying he was the first, but the first to record, to do a lot of the things that were swinging with this. His first, arrangements like he did on those early Prestige and Blue Note records. Like one is called We See.
Right.
Something that you don't even hear. It's not that popular. They don't even play now. That to me was swinging more than a whole gang of them that they play.
Yeah.
I like that thing that he does. Do 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 I think that's called We See. They don't even play that. That's on one of those old Prestige things. It's on a 12-inch.
Yeah.
I mean a 10-inch. 10-inch.
Well, Blakey and Kenny Clark did a lot of the early recordings with him too. Kenny and Oscar Pettiford.
Oscar Pettiford, right?
And who was it? Blakey and
then also Max did something, but not as much. Blakey did. I'm gonna tell you, Blakey was more his style of playing was more appropriate for Monk because of the fact that he has a hard swing. I mean, for that hard definite beat.
that high.
In other words, you can right. You can feel that, you can hear it, but you feel it but don't hear it. In other words, Blakey's the kind of drummer that you felt his bass drum, but you didn't hear it. In other words, it's almost like he's going boom, 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 but he's not doing that because he's playing in that more or less, like you say, a modern or bebop style or the new style. Yeah. Alternating his hands from his foot and chopping but it was just like you would, and that's what you would hear also with Monk. Even though Monk wouldn't, he'd play his chords. Sometimes he'd play a chord and it would ride for 4 or 5 bars, but it would be like in that interval in between, he'd hit a chord, gling, gling. And you can almost hear between that, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Like he's got but he's not. But you, in other words, you hear it, but you feel it, but you don't hear it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is with Blakey, and all those things that Monk did. No, not all of them, because Kenny Clark played. But I think Blakey, to me, I like Blakey, and there's a few things that Max did. But I've always considered Max is more or less to be more of the technician.
He was a little, to my ears, he was a little bit too stiff for Monk.
Yeah, too stiff for Monk. That Blakey played the.
Yeah, Blakey was more crazy, I guess, or Blakey would Matt, I don't know. Blakey would play shit that was,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, because he would play. And this is what. Yeah, he played all. That's right, and I'm gonna tell you, I had a very good compliment coming from Monk's son, and it made me feel so good, at this unveiling of the street that was named after him, the 63rd Street. They named, the mayor. Well, they got it Thelonious Monk, even the middle name. It's on 63rd and West End.
Yes.
And they had the unveiling of the street, and I went up there, and Reverend Genzel, a few of the, dignitaries from the city hall, the mayor, Koch wasn't there, but the deputy mayor was there, and I think Carol Bellamy or one of them, either Elizabeth Holzman or something. Well, but anyhow, Art Taylor was there and Charlie Rouse was there. Well, Art Taylor he was a spokesman. There's another drummer, not go away from the thing, but he was another drummer that I like.
Yeah.
But now, getting back to the unveiling, Art Taylor, he played real good on that Town Hall album. So his son, who is also a drummer now, Tootie, that was the first time that I, because Tootie, he went and got him a little band, had a, Tootie Monk or T.S. Monk. There was a little, Monk? Yeah, it was a little. So I was leaving, and I was there with a lady friend of mine, and we were leaving. And I saw Nica the Baroness, and because she had told me about the unveiling. I'd stopped in at Barry Harris's Jazz Culture Theater. She told me about it and asked me would I come. So then leaving, and I was telling Tootie, that I was anticipating, coming to hear the group playing, blah blah. So we're standing there, Nica and then Reverend Genzel and my lady friend. We're all talking, and and it really made me feel good, because he says, I'm gonna tell you, he says, man, all the cats, man, all them cats, man, that wailed with he didn't say Monk. Mm-hmm. He said wailed with my own man, or Dad, he called me with Daddy or something like that. He said, all them cats, man, he says, I've always done, man, what you'd always do, man, it's all, man, says you always, man, fed that beat, man, and made that stuff swing. And I said, well, no, because I told him, I said, well, look, I said, so a lot of cats that was there. I said, I'm gonna tell you, I said, I was influenced, by art, from the early records, because those are the records that I grew up with. Yeah. And I also know Monk's beat being that Jimmy Lunceford type. See, he digs Duke Ellington, he digs Jimmy Lunceford a lot, and it's that real. It's not his. This is what made his music, so different and so intricate, because he as I said before, he played his new voicings, his chords on it, and would still have the old. Basically, it's not a new. That wasn't the Monk's not playing that new beat. Right. He's playing really. It's the old swing. Is nothing new. Yeah. It's that old Jimmy Lunceford, that come from Fletcher Henderson and all the bands come up through that era. You name Benny Goodman, all of them. They come with Krupa, any of them that come in that era. Basie, boom, boom, right. Boom, 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 and they get ready to play anything. It's not that. That's the improvisation, but the beat. Sure. So Monk would have that old driving beat, like what Lionel Hampton's got. Same another one. Right. Lionel Hampton, when he starts out with that do 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 do, get woo woo woo. So Monk is taking that same beat and he's playing his modern stuff in it. Clink clink, boom boom, giggity go 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 go, a boom boom boom. That's all that is. Now let's think about New. Yeah, he had his own thing going. You would know it was Monk, but it was that old beat. So I told Tootie, I said, man, he says, well, man, and it made me feel good though, because he said, look, man, I had a whole lot of cats, man. He says, but I'm sorry, man, none of them cats, man, been like you did. And I told him, well, man, it makes me feel good. I said, thanks for, but see, now Reverend Genzel standing, I don't think that he has dealt into, the record scene, and neither did Nica. She knows about, but I mean, it made me feel good, I mean, for him to tell me that, and he also played, with his father for a while. Yeah. And I said, well, damn.
That must have been hard for you.
Oh, man. Well, son. What? The son. Oh, daddy and son, usually they say man and wife can't work together. One is with father and son. And right, that's what this usually that is the case, And
did Blake ever come to see you, Blake, with Monk?
Well, you see, he was on the same tour. He didn't have to really come out just especially to see me, but he he caught me with Maynard's band, and he always liked, you know, well, from what he would, how he would, you know, would word it. I mean, you know, would let me know every musician has you know, a different way to approach another musician.
Yeah.
You know, to let him know that I dig you. All of, you know, his way of telling me that he liked, you know, the way I played was to invite me to sit in on the Gretsch Drum Night, and I was playing with Lena Horne, and I couldn't wait to get out of that monkey suit over there at the Waldorf Astoria and get back to Birdland, because man, I only played 40 minutes, but I would be so uptight, because of the fact of the of the concentration that I'd have to do. Yeah. A lot of people don't think they see a musician that go up there and play a show, they go catch him, he's on the stand for 40 or 50 minutes, and they say, "Oh my God, man, shoot, you got a position, what a bit." And they don't know sometimes the preparation and the tension. Yeah. And when you're playing for an artist, and the people never think of the range and how you had to adjust yourself. Are you up there? Are you comfortable with the leader? Are you comfortable with another musician that's behind you? Or you're gelling? All they see is sometimes is the smile, because you're up there too, kind of, because it's show business and the lights is on the performer, and then you give your little. But it's not always like that. And that's the way it was with the. You know, well, at sure. Well, the Broadway shows. With Lena Horne, I loved it, and I learned a lot. But it was an uptight thing, because for one thing, Lena was not the singer then that she is now. She was always, I told you when I ran. I told you about that. You know what I mean? And when you went to see her at the Netherlands, she was a lot. Oh my goodness! I went and I got some music down at the Music Exchange, and it's on 46th Street. You know, and I went up there to get this theory book for a friend of mine, and they've got all these different books up there. There are thousands of books, you know, different, you know, music books, you know, theory, chords for the beginner, for the advanced student. So I went and I got this book, and I've never really met any of the guys up there, but I know they have to be involved in music some way. You know what I mean? They, you know, some of them know a little. Even if they don't play an instrument, if they fooling around with all them books and stuff, they got to know something. But then, too, a lot of them are ex-musicians who go into business, you know. Right. So I saw the book that I wanted, and I saw it was $6.50, and so the guy had just looked at. So this other guy who was looking for something, he happened to see something. I think it was passed through stormy weather, something like that. You know, it was the sheet music. Yeah. So he happened to say, "Oh, so the guy was there taking the money. He had turned. He says he happened to glance at." And he just happened to say to me, he says, "Did you catch that show on 13?" He says on Channel 13 on the PBS. And I know what he was talking about. That's the thing I did the thing with Lionel. You know, that thing from the Kennedy Center, you know, on tape. And luckily, I had caught her, which was. He says, that Lena, he says, "What are you going to say after a show like that?" He says, it's just too. And then I went into my bag, because, you know, I felt the same way, because I made a special trip backstage just to tell her that this is the way, what you're doing now. I wish we could have been. I mean, because Grady was on. He did the show, Grady Tate. Yeah, right. And I was just saying, and seeing how loose Grady was playing, and how loose she was. And you know, I know how great. Now? She's got to be close to 71. She's gonna stay around 60 for a long time. But you see, I know better. See, Lena has got to be 71. You hit it right on the head. Yeah. But she hasn't passed 67 yet. She's still no.
Well, how old was she when she did Stormy Weather, that movie?
She was no chicken then. She was no chicken then. But she you know, when she did that movie. What was that? The name of it? Stormy Weather? Stormy Weather, right? Yeah. And she also did that Cabin in the Sky.
That I don't know if I've ever seen. I know the movie, but I don't think I've ever.
And she also did the George White Scandals of. The George White Scandals. Yeah.
George White Scandals.
Mm-hmm. the scandals of 48 and 49. They had all those different, where she sang that song with all those mirrors. She had all those mirrors. Must have been at least 50 mirrors.
Really?
In the George White scandals, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, now. Yeah, now that has to be, now I would say,
This got a
now,
date on
now,
it.
now, you know what? Now the picture that I have, would you believe the picture that she autographed for me is one just about in that she was
54.
That was in 1954?
Yep. So how old would you figure she was there? Say she's 30 years old. She's probably older, but if she was 30, that's 50. That's 30 years ago.
That's right.
So then when she would be 60 years old, if she was 30 in that picture.
You said she was 30 here?
I don't know.
No, she's got to be. She's older than 30 there. I mean, I even in. Let me see. In 19.
Well, whatever.
Well, but look, I do know one thing. She's got to be. She's got to be 70 years old.
Yeah.
70, 71. As I told you, I don't know whether I spoke to you before about this, but she also is she's a licensed cosmetologist.
Is she really? Huh.
She went and she took several courses on cosmetics
Yeah.
and cosmetology.
Yeah.
And this has a lot to do with how she knows. I've seen it when I work, seen her working with different creams.
Yeah.
Mixing different creams when I work with her.
Yeah.
And sometimes she you would think it was like Lena Horne, because no one would. Plus the fact, it's also a camouflage that she don't have to go around all day and recite and all. I mean, she not that she minds it, but sometimes so she knows she disguises herself. Mm-hmm. She disguised, and she would do that when I worked in Lake Tahoe, when I worked in Florida at the Eden Rock. Yeah. And when I worked at the Fairmont in San Francisco, when I went down, to the Copacabana down in Rio de Janeiro. She always, you see, sometimes I would know it, because unless there's something that Lenny would be with. That's the only reason only way I would know it was her.
Oh, you mean when she goes out in public? Still?
Oh, when she went out there, sometimes her and Lenny would walk around, go around different places. Like
and she'd put on different makeup so nobody knew who she was.
She would have she tied this silk kerchief around, sunglasses. Wouldn't be any makeup. She'd have this salve that with this oil or whatever she uses to. It's like an astringent, I know, or it's like it's what they would call a invisible mud pack made, not a mud pack, but something that has the same strength. Yeah. To draw that skin and then keep it, you know what I mean? Man, if you saw her on Channel 13 last week, there's no way in the world, boy, they could hang you upside down, man, and you would never say, you'd say that she at 40, 30, or 35 or 40 years old.
It's amazing. Dorian Gray of
And then the neckline never has. If you hear, you never see. It's never. It's
I know.
Just from here all the way, all through here. It's like she's 29, 30 years old. Like
really?
All through here. Nothing here to. No pebbles, no pimples, no blemishes.
Isn't that amazing?
I'll tell you, it's of course now I went backstage to, like I say, now I'll say this. When the closest I got to her, at the Netherlands, I did get the chance maybe to see, maybe a little underneath. I mean, it was heavy makeup. But even though I was right on top of her, when I went back to see, it's still...
You still look good.
And look, anyone gets me, what really gets me is that I had my lady friend with me, so she had never really, and she was the show had knocked her out too. It was a great show. And heck, it was the hottest ticket in town when I went. Sure. And I don't know how the heck so go back there after the show, and the girl that works with her, one of the girls is Claire Bethay, who was the leading vocalist with Lionel Hampton when I was with her. So she's doing the dance, and she auditioned for the show, and she got it. And I went back to see Claire. Well, I wanted to see Lena too, but I wasn't really expecting to see her, and not to really go, you know, I know what it is with a performer, not then, not right there, and usually they get lost anyhow, but not her. Do you know, right after this, as long as she stayed on that stand and worked for 2 hours singing song after song, do you know, she just throws on her smock and comes back there and meets the people? Wow. I mean, not a gang of them now, it's a certain, because she's got her manager there, and he's different, you know, from
her husband?
Roy, well, he's a little different. Well, I'll say from my other manager. It was Ralph Harris. Yeah. He tells all of them, they stand in line. He says, no kissing, the manager said.
Yeah, really? No kissing?
Well, you know, with this last, you know, raid that went around and speaking about, you know, herpes and this, you know, which I can understand. So, you know what? I was behind this other one. I had a lady friend with me. She was there. She said, oh, thank you. And I'm glad you enjoyed all this and that. And he's standing with this other girl. So I'm in the back now. She hasn't seen me. It's been ages, really, you know. But she was chewing gum, and when I went up to, and I says, and she looked, and she swallowed her gum, you know.
Oh, really?
She said, she said, oh. She said, he says, excuse me. She said, then I'm trying to get you in. And then, you know, it went into one word went into another, and we spoke about the lean days. She says, Frank, you remember those lean days? I said, Lena, I said, you know what? I said, this show knocked me out so much. I said, you know, it's just amazing. I said, you know, you're swinging, you're letting go. She said, no, she said,
my landlord.